Hi, I'm Bill Neugebauer, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about ASCs and OBLs. In the ASC and OBL environment, there's often a hybrid that's going on, and we've heard a lot about ASC and OBL hybrids, and the differentiation can be confusing sometimes. So let's take a few moments to try to address that and eliminate some of the confusion that is out there. Now, first of all, ASCs fall under CMS Service Code 24, which is a very highly regulated part of healthcare that requires a lot of different things, obviously licensure, accreditation, Medicare certification, all depending on the state you're in, but it's a highly regulatory and regulated environment. Whereas with OBLs, you're talking about a CMS Service Code 11, and in CMS Service Code 11, you're talking about a standard medical office setting, nothing more than a standard procedure room, highly unregulated in that regard. You're not dealing with nearly the type of oversight you are under ASCs. So there's a very different stark comparison in the regulatory oversight between the two in that regard. From a procedural standpoint, differentiating the two can get a little bit confusing at times because, for instance, with pain management, you're allowed to do pain in a Service Code 11 setting as well as in a Service Code 24 setting. And it's sometimes hard to differentiate where and when to do that. So again, relative to your state and other regulations, you may want to look into that. But of course, depending on what service code you decide to perform the service has a lot to do with the billing component, since in an OBL setting, you're only billing the professional component, not a facility component. So that's something to keep in mind when looking at an ASC and OBL hybrid. The other last point I want to make is if you are using an ASC for an OBL setting, it's very important to differentiate the dates of service. So for instance, if you're operating your ASC Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, let's say, and you're dark on Wednesdays and Fridays, and you may want to use that as an OBL setting on those days, separating the dates of service, to me, and my recommendations are probably the most paramount thing to do. Mixing and matching dates of service between an ASC and an OBL on the same day can be problematic.